Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations unto the 144,000. Brother Kyle here with another lesson to the Spirit. Lord willing, this one is another quick one. Just want to say Salakia as well too for not posting as much. I don't like the fact or even the idea of me slowing down so much on my videos, and I'm not even gonna try to make any excuses with it. At the end of the day, I mean, we could be all busy, but we still have to make time for the Lord, So I'd ask the Lord forgiveness first, as well as, the Lord sheep, which is you all. So once again, Salakia. But I just want to do I was gonna say one liner, but it's more or less 3 verses, that I want to highlight per se, So let's read it and we'll get into it a little bit. This is Exodus 14 and 13. It says, "And Moses said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, which he will shew to you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. Yahweh Bashim Yoshai shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace." And this is the title, because this was really the verse I wanted to read, right? But let me just read verse 15 and I'll expound. It says, "And Yahweh Bashim Yoshai said unto Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward." Right? So, as I say, the title of the video, the Lord shall fight for you. So it's just a reminder that, as long as we do the will of the Lord and we trusting in Him, right, with everything that we have, the Lord will fight for us, regardless of what it is. Because remember, He won't take us through all these trials and tribulations and whatnot, and we have no way out. So we have to always remember that. And this is just and this is an attack back from Egypt, because this is when we was getting out of Egypt. So that's why also I start from the top in verse 13, with Moses and whatnot, telling the children of Israel, don't fear. You understand? Don't fear, we go see the salvation of the Lord. Right? And all them Egyptians, right? Are we seeing which was the enemy, right? So we use the term of right now. All our enemies, you understand? They're not going to be able to rise up against us anymore. You understand? When they wash me or shy, put on his foot. And cast judgment upon them, that is it. They're not going to rise up again anymore. Right? So he tell us what in verse 15? He said what? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward. Because this is where he began to part the sea as they were going down. Right? So he parted the Red Sea and they go forth without fear. Right? So we know when the Lord telling us to preach the word and whatnot, right? As it says here in it says here in Isaiah 58 and 1. That's the wrong thing. Isaiah 58 and 1. It says, "Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins." Right? So the Lord said, don't spare anybody feelings or whatever it is. We have to tell them truth regardless, because it's for their own good. We come in to tell you, hey, this is the righteous way to walk. This will come into line and we've seen it. You understand? All these wars still going on with that Strait of Hormuz, all the Trump talking, he just making things worse. But we know that's part of the Lord's plan, right? That lunatic, he doing his part as the devil, and Jake mad, Jay Coulson, and then it still have some people who supporting Trump and whatnot, and he prideful ego. But at the end of the day, we happy because we know in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai have us, and you know, Lord willing, we make it out of here. Which also lead me to one two precepts that came to me as well. One of them being Revelation 18:4. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and power had remembered her iniquities." Right? So the Lord remembered iniquities of Esau, Edom, as well as these other nations. You know, so the Lord telling us to come out of it, my people, and how we doing that? You know, by getting beamed up in the chariots. Right? So we don't be partakers of her plagues. Right? The main one being those missiles. Right? We know it are the other plagues that the Lord said will come. You know, He will send back the plagues of Egypt. Right? We know that is coming. We already saw signs of a lot of them already. You know? So we had to say all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So hey, the Lord will fight for us. You know? We have no reason to be worried. Whatever Esau feel he coming with, Esau can even win the battle he fighting right now. Right? They can think whatever it is in the mind, whether they get through or they don't get through, is the Lord's plan. You understand? Read Romans 13, it will tell you that. The Lord is the one that set these people up. Right? Daniel 4:17. You know? One of the ones I like to read as well is Jeremiah 51:7, verse 6. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." Right? Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right? So Esau indulged the whole world into their wickedness and their way of life and whatnot. You understand? So now the nations are mad. However, the nations had a part to play in our slavery and stuff as well. So it come like the Lord used that to cause tension between them to carry out His plan. Because ultimately all of them are our enemies. Right? According to Psalm 83. You know, and they're all gonna get destroyed. It's just they're not gonna get the fixated judgment as Esau, which is complete annihilation. You know. But yeah, the Lord say flee out of the midst of Babylon, you know, deliver every man his soul. And that's what we're doing right now. Right? We're delivering our soul, which is our mind, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because He gave us His knowledge to free our minds. So the Lord fighting for us again. Because He also tell us to even what we gonna say and whatnot. You know, because He will give us a mouth where they won't be able to gainsay and all these different things. So this whole thing is foolproof. It's foolproof. Alright, the Lord protecting us all the way around. Scripture says He's our shield and buckler. You understand? So it's a privilege, you know, to be serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So hey, so don't forget, you know, especially when praying and whatnot, to always give thanks to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for both good and bad. Every time I pray, I start off my prayer with thanking the Lord. Because a lot of people too as well, you know, start off their prayer, you know, asking the Lord for something rather than thanking Him for what it is He had already done. Whether you ask or you didn't ask. You understand? Whether it be good or bad. Because you might ask for something and it didn't get through. And it might be the worst thing you feel, and it's like, fuck. And you're cursing, you know. But sometimes the Lord might reveal it to you, or sometimes He don't, or until later down the road, or whatever it might be. His decision, right? Where it is you would know as to why it is He didn't give you what it is you requested, you know. But ultimately it's for your own good. As long as you know you're doing the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know everything that happening is for your own good. It's probably because He don't want you to get caught up in the world or to the sidetrack here and all these different things, you know. So hey, say to what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, You understand? Say to what I Bashim Yoshai. So through the spirit, I hope this lesson was edifying. You know, once again, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, Bashim Kakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders at Green Millstone. Peace and salutations unto the 144,000. Till next time, Shalom.